Intergalactic. What is going on, everybody? My boy Jay Smith threw up some B-Boy Intergalactic lyrics a little earlier, and I told him, that's it right there. Theme song for the final. That's right. Final, as in last one. The very last Animation Mentor Oz VJ. Can you believe it? What's that mean? That means I'm done. Finished. Finito. Did I finish my short film? Epic failure. No, I did not get my epic failure. Well, get my epic failure. I had an epic failure. Did not finish my short film. But you know what? There's still time. I still got time to do it, and that's all there is to it. In commemoration of what's happening, wearing the old Walt Disney Studios baseball cap, little Mickey Mouse there with a projector and whatnot. I got this in Disney World at the animation studio they have down there. Losing the top of it because my daughter used to chew on the bill and she'd chew the little felt off the top. So it's one of my favorite hats though. So you know, I've got a lot of things to say in about 8 minutes because I think that's all I can upload. So we'll get to it. I don't have a list this week as I'm just going to speak from the heart because quite frankly it's been 18 months of grueling hard work. You know, I've gotten some good grades, I've gotten some mediocre grades, I've gotten some bad grades. Most of my grades have been alright. Every single one of my mentors has told me, Oz, don't worry about the grade. You're doing what you're doing, and that's cool. You know, my thanks go out to my mentors. My first mentor, Martin Hopkins, class guy, outstanding. You know, learned a lot from him right off the go. My second mentor, Mr. Mike Belzer, absolutely amazing man. Going through his class was difficult, and I don't have difficulty with really anything ever. So he challenged me, and he pushed me, and I learned an immense amount from that man. I cannot thank him enough. Jay Jackson, number 3. You know, what can you say about a guy who animated Sebastian in The Little Mermaid? Outstanding individual. His Q&As were entertaining because he would tangent like crazy. Again, learned a lot from him. Number 4, Greg Kyle. The whole reason I actually got into Animation Mentor, I had lunch with him before I decided to enroll. Asked him what he thought. His advice and his words pushed me over the edge. And then I was blessed to have him for Class 4, which was actually really cool. You know, again, learned a lot from him. Class 5, arguably one of my favorite mentors, Jed Diffenderfer. That man is outstanding. He stepped it up and every single week put up basically a blog post for us to go over the information that was being presented to us in the lecture. Jed, I love you, dog. I love you. And then finally, Class 6, Greg Whitaker, down there working on how to train your pet dragon. Guy's putting in 60, 70-hour weeks and still throwing crits like a madman. You know, again, another guy who actually had a lesson plan and a direct focus on what we were going to talk about for Q&As. So absolutely phenomenal. I can't thank those guys enough because they've taken what little bit I've known and they've added a lot to it. So now I know a lot, but not enough. And, you know, you hear it constantly. Animation is one of those things where you can never stop learning, and that's the truth. I've learned that the hard way over the last 18 months. But terribly excited about it. My list of thank yous continues. Thank you to all of my classmates who continued week in and week out to come to my page and post and give me crits. Guys who showed up in Tiny Chat. Jason Smith at the top of my list. Adam Kazicki, even though he took some time off, he came back. You know, Daniel Klug. I saw that guy every single week. Can't forget about my man Long to the High. Long High fam, he was in every single one of my classes. How odd is that? 1 through 6, we had the same mentors every time. That was awesome. You know, guys like David Rodriguez, always in Tiny Chat, always have something to say. You know, I've got my list of guys who are continuous in posting on my page. I can't thank you guys enough. you will always have a place in my heart for helping me through this. There were some nights and even weeks where I was just like, God, I don't know if I can power through this. Working a full-time job with 3 kids and going to AM, it was really, really difficult. But persevered, I made it. I'm happy. Pat myself on the back. Somebody come and pat me on the back. Okay, I'll do it again. But yeah, so the list is long and it is very distinguished because all these individuals are class. Now we're headed to the alumni site, and if they allow us, I know a lot of us will go back and continue to post crits and help up and comers. So don't feel that just because we're moving on doesn't mean we're moving on. My buddy Dar Jabari asked me a week ago or 2 weeks ago to share my story. And that's a tough one because it's a really long story. I've loved animation all my life. What got me to AM, the wife and I sat down a couple years ago and we talked. And we were at a point to where it was okay for me to go back to school. I worked for myself a while ago, did low poly modeling and worked in some animation. 1998, 99, and 2000. But in the small town I live in, not much of a career path because there's not a lot available here. So we're at a point where we're kind of ready to relocate, it was time. The time to move forward with what I want to do opened up. The door opened and I stepped through it. We all step to AM for different reasons. Mine was for the love of a visual story. I love a visual story, whether it's a live action movie or an animated film. To me, an animated film opens up way more possibilities in the scope of imagination and telling that story for a lot smaller of a budget. You see teams stepping in and doing things that are absolutely amazing. On top of that, I'm a gamer. I will admit it, I'm a hardcore gamer. I game as much as I possibly can without sacrificing everything else. Sometimes I do. My wife gets a little mad and yells at me, but you know what? She loves me and forgives me. So, being able to step into creating and working on game titles, to me, that'll be a huge part of expressing who I am and where I want to go. And then moving into feature work after that. I don't want to jump right into feature work. I want to work in games for a while, and then I want to go to feature work. So I want to take some steps and explore a number of different things first. What got me to AM, a number of different steps, a number of different people, and the culmination of my own personal dream. I'm so excited for everybody out there that finished with me, for everybody out there who's finishing behind me, and for everybody out there who finished in front of me. It's been an outstanding experience, and I've got nothing but awesome things to say about the whole thing. It was very positive for me. It was hard, but completing it and getting through it, to me, is just something that's, it's one of those accomplishments that I will be very, very proud of for a very long time. So, with that, I've got one final thing to say. My boy, Cesar Cueva. I called him out a while ago as a wannabe Oz, and he stepped up and said, "You're right. I stole your idea," and honestly, this isn't my idea. It's one that was encouraged by the guys at AM, Post a Video Journal. I just took it to heart, and that's what people know me for. They know me for the weekly video journal. They can pretty much count on it and guarantee it. I've done one pretty much since day one of Class 1. You guys can step onto my YouTube site. It's youtube.com/AbsoluteD, M-A-N, so Absolute D Man, and you can watch my whole experience all the way through. I've worn many hats, thrown many faces. I will comp an introduction to, or the introduction from my featured student article right behind this one, so you can watch a couple of minutes of good entertainment. But past that, Cesar, I'm passing the torch, bro. You're doing a pretty decent job with your crazy ass weekly video journals. Entertaining, and I will definitely say you're doing a good job. So keep it up, brother. We'll get together one of these days. You're not too far from me, only 2 hours and maybe 30 minutes north, so we'll hook up. But last time I'm posting on the AM site, so I'll say it one last time. You guys have a phenomenal week, and as always, lead an animated life. But don't fear, I'll be here. I will continue to post video journals and updates on my YouTube site on a regular basis. I promise. You guys, thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for following along. Thanks for keeping me company. It's been an absolute pleasure. One last time, Oz is signing off. I'll catch up with you soon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Oz. It's Oz here. The Oz. Returning the Oz. Woohoo! Oz here. Why can't Oz? Guess what? I'm back. What's up, everybody? It's Oz once again. Oz here. It's me, Oz. Once again, it's the man, the myth, the legend in his own mind, Derek Osborne. My name's Derek Osborne. Everybody around here refers to me as Oz. And 3, 2, 1, Oz, you're live.